All right, continuing our notes over chapter 4 about conversions, doing some example problems. So our first example problem that we're going to do is that we start with 0.044 kilometers. We want to know how many meters that is. So again, we start with our given, the 0.044 kilometers. Kilometers go on the bottom. Meters go on the top because kilometers have to cross out, and meters go on the top because that's what we're converting to. A kilometer is larger, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 to the 6th. So we end up with 4.4 times 10 to the 4th meters. Our second example, 4.6 milligrams is how many grams? Again, we start with our 4.6 milligrams. Because milligrams are what we're starting with and they're in the numerator, milligrams have to go in the denominator, and we're converting to grams. Milligrams are going to cancel out. A gram is larger. It's 1,000 milligrams, which means we're going to be doing division. So our answer is 0.0046 grams. Our third problem, 0.107 grams is how many centigrams? So we start with 107 grams. Because grams in the numerator, grams have to go on the bottom, centigrams go on the top. A gram is larger. It is 100 centigrams. So our answer is 10.7 centigrams. Our next example is that 15 centimeters cubed. We want to know how many liters that is. Now, to do this one, you do need to know one other little piece of information, which is that 1 cubic centimeter is the same as 1 milliliter. You've probably heard this before, a cc. Sometimes a cc is used instead of cubic centimeter. So a cc, that's what you might see on a syringe. If you have ever had to give a pet or an animal on your farm an injection and the doctor said to give 2 cc's, that meant that you were giving 2 milliliters. This is a conversion factor, okay, that you need to know. So to do this one, okay, it's going to require multiple steps. So cubic centimeters is in the numerator, it has to go in the denominator, and we're going to convert it to milliliters using this new conversion factor, which is 1 to 1. So now we have milliliters. Milliliters are in the numerator, so they have to go in the denominator. We're trying to convert to liters, which we know something about. So we're going to be left with our answer in liters. Again, a liter is larger. It's 1,000 milliliters, which means our answer is 0.015 liters. 7.38 grams is how many kilograms? 7.38 grams. Grams goes in the denominator, kilograms goes in the numerator, grams will cancel out. A kilogram is larger, it's 1,000 grams, which means I'm going to be doing division, which means that our answer is, okay, decimal 0.00738 kilograms. Finally, 6.7 seconds. We want to know how many milliseconds that is. So we start with 6.7 seconds. It is the base. Seconds go on the bottom. Milliseconds go on the top. Seconds are going to cross out. A second is larger. It's 1,000 milliseconds because I have to move 3 times. So our answer is 6,700 milliseconds. So those are some fairly straightforward ones. A couple more examples. We know that the density, or I'm telling you that the density of the element boron is 2.34 grams per centimeter cubed. If I have 14.8 grams of boron, how many cubic centimeters of boron do we have? So again, we're going to use this density information as a conversion factor. We're still starting with the 14.8 grams as our starting point. Because grams are in the numerator, they have to go in the denominator. We're going to change it to cubic centimeters. Now, this conversion factor here, that's that density information. So up here, we see that in front of grams, we have 2.34, and we have 1 in front of cubic centimeters, which means we're going to divide. Now, in terms of significant figures, our given that we're starting with has 3. Our conversion factor also has 3. So our answer should have 3 significant figures. So you should end up with 6.32 centimeters cubed of boron. Our second example, we're going to talk about some density of a cough syrup. And the density of this cough syrup is 0.950 grams per cubic centimeter. If we have a volume of 50 cubic centimeters of the cough syrup, how many grams of the cough syrup do we have? Again, this information here is going to be used as a conversion factor. So we start with our 50 cubic centimeters. Cubic centimeters has to go on the bottom because it's in the numerator. Grams will go on the top. Cubic centimeters are going to cancel out. In front of cubic centimeters, I have 1, and in front of grams, I have 0.950, which means this time I'm going to be multiplying. And again, in terms of significant figures, we have 3 significant figures in 50.0 and 3 significant figures in our density. So our answer should have 3 significant figures. So we end up with 47.5 grams of the cough syrup. So those are your example problems. Again, this is another good spot for us to stop.